experience. However, multiple concerns arise regarding to the potential of students using AI tools for corrections without comprehensively understanding of their errors. The convenience of these tools fosters dependency, resulting to students excessively use on these programs. A pleasant afternoon to everyone, especially to our dear panelists.
Good afternoon to our dear panelists. As part of fulfillment of the requirement of inquiries, immersion, and investigation under the academic strand, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we present to you our research proposal.
So before we formally start, let me introduce myself. Together with my co-researcher, I'm Johan Gabriel Orbizo.
Kim Harvey Arabis.
James Mark Limuad.
And I am Dale Joshua Patrick M. Maranella.
And we are the second group of grade 12 Selby Crew.
Every day, our society faces multiple challenges and issues, but let us focus on the issues that can be found here in our school. So, without further ado, let me present to you our research proposal titled Assessing the Consequences of Overdependence on Artificial Intelligence Programs to Academic Performance of Senior High School Students at Dover Academic Center for Excellence, academic year 2023 to 2024. We chose this research topic because we believe that students have become more dependent on artificial intelligence nowadays. So, artificial intelligence programs have emerged and evolved throughout the years. So, we live in a modern world in where technological advancements are rapidly changing and existing, and that includes artificial intelligence. However, are these artificial intelligence programs a blessing or a curse to society? Because as students use artificial intelligence programs, it questions the pros and cons on whether or not AI should be implemented in classes. Artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science in where computers act, behave, think, and generate information as if it was a human being. So there are multiple artificial intelligence programs that exist for students to use that serves multiple functions. So these include that artificial intelligence programs that have emerged over the years. First is PhotoMath, in where it can help you solve mathematical equations by simply taking a photograph of the equation. Next, Killbot, in where it is a program in where you can paraphrase your text. Third, Grammarly, in where it is an AI tool in where it can help you make essays that provide suggestion for your grammatical errors. But among these artificial intelligence programs, one program is the mostly used by students and is known by a lot of people nowadays, which is ChatGPT, which basically combines all the functions of the artificial intelligence program that I have mentioned earlier. It can generate information, it can answer mathematical equations, it can paraphrase your text, provide grammatical suggestions, and so much more. Since the release of ChatGPT in November 2022, students have been using it as a way to complete their academic tasks. So the rise of these artificial intelligence programs have become a successful tool for students to complete their tasks. However, students nowadays tend to abuse the potential of these AI tools, making it a threat to academic learning. The development of these artificial intelligence programs allows students to rely on them more instead of their own knowledge when completing tasks. Whether it is an easy or hard assignment or task, if students feel unmotivated or feel lazy, we can easily open one of these artificial intelligence programs and copy whatever information that is generated by them. So this leads to our main problem, which is the students over-depending on artificial intelligence programs. So, next. So the problems that arise of over-dependence of artificial intelligence programs is it can affect the critical thinking skills of students. Students lose motivation in independent learning. Students become more lazy, lacks original ideas. AI lacks emotional intelligence, can generate bias and invalid information, linguistic limitations, tool for academic cheating, and can plagiarize information presented. So, although existing or past research have enumerated different problems of AI dependency, there are still research gaps that is needed to be investigated and explored, such as the lack of artificial intelligence news literacy, affecting long-term learning retention and motivation and engagement. So our goal for our research is to assess and evaluate the consequences of overdependence of artificial intelligence to students and how it can be disadvantages to their academic journey. At the same time, we want to provide solutions on how they can utilize a fair use or balance of artificial intelligence and human knowledge or independent learning. So to present you the research local and theoretical framework, I'll give the floor to Ms. Kim Harvey Arabis.
So, so for our research local, Dover Academic Center for Excellence was established in 2016 and was named Araneta Center for Education under the supervision of Mr. Galer Patrick Araneta. 2 years after, it was renamed Dover Academic Center for Excellence Incorporated under the supervision of our current School Director, Honorable Sylvester P. Matos. Our research study was conducted here in Dover Academic Center for Excellence Senior High School Department, where we were able to gather our data from 480 senior high school students across all strands. Next, let's move on to theoretical framework. A theoretical framework is based on Junaid B. Jahapour's theory of overdependence on artificial intelligence technology, where he states that students nowadays are more dependable on technology and artificial intelligence in doing their academic tasks, which can raise the possibility of cheating and affect their critical thinking skills. He also says that technology and artificial intelligence can dull people's mind. According to his theory, one way of assessing this problem is by enhancing our artificial intelligence literacy. We chose his theory in formulating our theoretical framework since it is the most credible, reliable, and the most close to our research study. Next, for the statement of the problem, I will give the floor to Mr. Yuan Germo, or BC.
So to present the statement of the problem, we'll start what is the purpose of the standard in terms of name, sex, age, strand, and grade level. So for the first problem here is, how does overdependence on artificial intelligence affect critical thinking skills? Next. So the second one is, what is the level of the knowledge of senior high school students of Dover Academic Center for Excellence Incorporated that overdepends on artificial intelligence? The students dependence on artificial intelligence undermine their individuality and confidence. Next, how can this research prove that overdependence of students on artificial intelligence can be disadvantageous to learners? And lastly, we have, what methods can promote a fair utilization of artificial intelligence in the classroom? So for our research hypothesis, one.
Sige, balik na, sige.
So
Subay na.
we formulated our statement of the problem by relating to the title itself, also by reviewing past literature and past studies related to AI dependency. So to present a research hypothesis, we use the alternative hypothesis. So students will not perform or learn well on interdependence academic students due to the overdependence of using artificial intelligence programs compared to learning independently. So the alternative hypothesis suggests that there is a negative correlation between the academic performance of students and their overdependence on artificial intelligence. It states that students rely excessive use of such programs will exhibit low in their academic achievement and learning compared to those who engage in learning independently. The next one. So to present the research methodology, let's have Miss Mercy Joy Arabis.
So the research method, the researcher will employ a quantitative study and use a descriptive survey research method with a focus on quantitative data to test hypotheses and answer questions of the research to determine whether or not students at Dover Academic Center for Excellence incorporated over depends on artificial programs. So for the population and in the instrument, the total number of respondents per class, the target population of our research is the senior high school student, and the total number of respondents is 480 students. The researchers use a survey questionnaire as the main data gathering instrument about the impacts of over-dependency of artificial intelligence on senior high school students in Dover ACE. So the questionnaire also consists of 15 questions where the data gathering instrument was structured on a scale with the options from strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. The Likert scale will help the researcher to efficiently gather data and determine the variables of data collected. So to discuss the presentation, analysis, and interpretation of data, Ewan will start by discussing the profile of the respondents table, the table of the profile of the
So
respondents.
to start this session, to start presenting the data, let's start with the sex. So,
And table 1.
in table 1.1 and in the following table, we will discuss the profile of the respondent. So, first is table 1.1, which is sex. Majority of respondents came from our female with a frequency of 243 and percentage of 51, where male has the 237 frequency respondents with 49 percentage rate. And to came up with to have the total frequency, we just simply add it up and we have it to come up with the percentage. Let's just do frequency over the total frequency and multiply it to 100, like table. So for the table 1.2, where majority of respondents came from grade 11 Aristotle and grade 11 Pythagoras with a frequency of 44 and 9.16%. So in terms of SARN, majority of respondents came from Humes with a frequency of 270 and 45 percentage rate. Next, for the table of 1.4, which is age, majority of respondents were 17 years old with a frequency of 205 and percentage of 200.7. 42.2. So to continue the discussion, let's have Mr. Clark call it. Up to 200%.
As we can see on table 2.1, students use AI programs like ChatGPT, Grammarly, Automat, etc. to complete academic tasks. The majority of respondents answered agree with a frequency of 272 with a percentage of 57%. Next, the table 2.2, Next, the table 2.2, students heavily depend on AI tools for their schoolworks and projects. The majority of respondents answered agree with a frequency of 203 and percentage of 42%. Lastly, the table 2.3, depending on artificial intelligence, affect students' critical thinking, with a majority of respondents answered agree with a frequency of 198 and percentage of 41%. To discuss to continue the discussion, let's have John Kenneth.
Ayaw pag last nila kay katuluran na.
Table to by artificial intelligence contribute a lot of originality in student academic work. Majority of respondents answered agree with a frequency to 232 with a percentage of 48%. Table 2.5, using artificial intelligence make it easier to complete tasks. The majority of respondents answered agree with a frequency 232 with a 48%. In table 2.6, over-reliance on artificial intelligence discourages students from seeking help from teachers or peers. With a majority of respondents answered agree with a frequency 223 and the percentage 46%. In table 2.7, students use artificial intelligence every day with a majority of respondents answered neutral with a frequency 196 and percentage 42%. To continue the discussion, let's have Mr. Jim Clark.
Table 2.8. Studies showed balance the use of artificial intelligence program, where the majority of respondents answered agree with a percentage of 47%. In table 2.9, artificial intelligence makes students busy in their academics, where majority in where respondents answered agree is the percentage is 37%. In the table 2.10, artificial intelligence provides mild and biased information with majority of respondents answered agree and neutral. The percentage is 35% each.
So, so in table 2.11, artificial intelligence programs make students frustrated with their responses. With the majority of respondents answering neutral with a frequency of 190 students and representing 40% of the total respondents. So this shows that students are still unsure if whether or not AI provides responses that can make students frustrated. Next, table 2.13, students who rely heavily on AI for learning tend to struggle with independent learning, with the majority of the respondents answering agree with the student with 204 students and representing 43% of the total respondents. Table 2.14, on the other hand, overdependence on AI diminishes students' creativity in academic endeavors, in where majority of the respondents answered agree with 205 students in frequency and the percentage rate of 43%. Lastly, in table 2.15, AI integration should be carefully monitored to prevent students from becoming overly dependent on it for academic stress, with the majority of the respondents responding to agree with a frequency of 227 respondents and a percentage rate of 47%. To discuss the conclusions of our study, let's have Ms. Kim Harvey Aramis again.
So our conclusion of our study. Our conclusion of the study answered our SOP or statement of the problem, which we also based on our survey, the result of our survey. So first, we concluded that most of our respondents were female in terms of age. 17 years old were the majority in terms of strand. Youths were the majority, and grade 11 students were the majority of our respondents. Next, overdependence on artificial intelligence can greatly affect our critical thinking skills. Next, the level of knowledge of students who overly depend on artificial intelligence tends to have difficulty in learning individually than those who do not rely on artificial intelligence. Next, overdependence on artificial intelligence can cause can cause doubting individually or confidence of someone who, since they rely on artificial intelligence in answering their academic tests than doing it on their own. Next, artificial intelligence can be disadvantages based on our survey questionnaire. And lastly, implementing artificial intelligence, AI integration, and the fair use of artificial intelligence should be monitored to promote fair utilization of AI in the classroom. And to discuss the recommendation, let's have Mr. Dale Joshua again.
So, for our recommendation, the basis of our recommendation comes from the data from the results of our survey questionnaire. So first is promote digital literacy programs. If schools were to incorporate these programs into the curriculum of the students, it will help students to be more aware on how to use AI. It also helps them to be aware of the potential and restrictions whenever using AI tools. Next, provide AI training for teachers. So teachers serves as the guide for students in their academic journey. If they were to be exposed in AI training, it will enable them to expose their knowledge or expound their knowledge about AI, which can help them implement AI technology into classes, helping students to incorporate them into their studies. Next, encourage diverse learning methods. So one way to overcome overdependency of students in artificial intelligence programs is to expose them to different diverse learning methods, not just sticking to one. In that way, we can incorporate traditional methods and digital methods in making sure that they don't stick into one method but have a balance in both traditional and digital. Next, implement AI ethics and responsible use guidelines. If students were to be able to know the rules and regulations and how to use artificial intelligence, they are able to identify when to use artificial intelligence and how to evaluate the information that are generated by those tools. And lastly, enhance the algorithm of AI response that aims for AI developers to improve their programs or system in generating information. If they are able to decrease the problems of generating bias and invalid information, it will be beneficial for the students or users to get more access to more valid and true data. And that is the end of our research defense.
Pila?
Okay.
21.52. Naman na yung 1 minute. Naman na yung ano.
Yes.
Natay gap.
Lagi.
Like,
That is it, guys.
For the
Good luck tomorrow.
Let's go, everyone. I'm so sleepy. What's up, guys? It's your boy, and today your idol is sleeping.